Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that the moment you finally feel like you're getting ahead, life suddenly throws everything at you? Your car needs repairs. Your rent goes up. Your phone dies. Your insurance premium jumps for no reason anyone can explain. And you're sitting there thinking, I'm not living large. I'm not buying dumb stuff. I'm just trying to survive. Here's the weird part. Two people can make the exact same income, live in the same city, have the same bills. And one of them constantly feels broke, anxious, one bad bill away from disaster. While the other one feels calm, stable, in control. And it's not because one is smarter. It's not because one loves budgeting more. And it's definitely not because one has a secret six-figure income. The difference is usually about $15,000. Not in salary. In cash. And once you cross that line, life genuinely gets easier. But, and this is the part no one talks about, your bank hates it. Because the moment you have $15,000 saved, you stop behaving the way the system depends on. And today, I'm going to explain exactly why. My name is Luke, and I spend way too much time thinking about money psychology, debt traps, and why normal people feel broke even when they're doing everything right. If you're someone who works hard, pays your bills, tries to be responsible, but still feels like money stress is running your life, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if this video helps you even a little bit, give it a thumbs up. It tells the algorithm to show this to more people who need it. Now let's talk about the number that quietly changes everything. Here's what most people don't realize. Money doesn't improve your life linearly. It moves in thresholds. The first $1,000 doesn't change much. The first $5,000 feels nice, but fragile. The first $10,000 gives you breathing room. But $15,000? That's where the power dynamic shifts. Not because $15,000 is a lot of money in absolute terms, it's not. In many cities, that's barely 6 months of expenses. But psychologically and mathematically, something snaps into place. Here's why. Let's get concrete. Assume a very normal situation. Rent, $1,400. Utilities, phone, internet, $300. Groceries, $450. Car payment plus insurance, $550. Gas plus transportation, $200. Miscellaneous, subscriptions, medical, small emergencies, $200. That's $3,100 per month. Now let's look at 3 people. Person A, $2,000 saved. They miss one paycheck? They're immediately choosing between credit cards, borrowing money, skipping bills. Every decision feels urgent. Urgency destroys good decision-making. Person B, $7,000 saved. They can handle 1 car repair, 1 medical bill. But 2 hits in a row? Back to debt. They're stable, but fragile. Person C, $15,000 saved. This person has almost 5 months of expenses. Now here's where it gets really interesting. They don't need to use credit cards. They don't need payday loans. They don't need to panic. And because they don't panic, they save more. They avoid fees. They negotiate better. They wait for deals. They say no to bad jobs. This is the compounding effect no one teaches. Here's the thing. Being broke isn't just about numbers. It's about decision speed. When you don't have savings, every financial decision is rushed. I'll just put it on the card. I'll deal with it later. I don't have time to shop around. Now you might be thinking, Luke, I'd still be responsible if I had more money. No, you wouldn't. And that's not an insult. That's neuroscience. Studies from Princeton and Harvard have shown that financial scarcity reduces cognitive bandwidth, literally lowering your ability to plan, delay gratification, and evaluate risk. In simple terms, being broke makes you worse at money. Not because you're dumb. Because your brain is overloaded. But at $15,000, the pressure lifts. You stop reacting. You start choosing. Once you cross this threshold, bills stop feeling like emergencies. Small problems don't spiral into disasters. You sleep better. This is measurable, by the way. You're less emotionally attached to every dollar. And here's the wild part. Your income doesn't change. Your behavior does. You stop paying overdraft fees, late fees, high interest charges. According to the CFPB, the average American pays over $300 per year in avoidable bank fees. People with emergency savings? They pay almost none. That alone is a guaranteed return your bank doesn't want you to understand. Let's talk about incentives. Banks don't make money when you're stable. They make money when you're overdrafting, carrying balances, paying interest, needing short-term liquidity. According to the Federal Reserve, over 70% of bank fee revenue comes from customers with less than $1,000 in savings. Read that again. The poorest customers subsidize the system. When you hit $15,000, you stop overdrafting. You stop revolving balances. You stop accepting terrible loan terms. You become unprofitable. And unprofitable customers are dangerous. Here's what most people don't realize. Credit cards aren't designed for emergencies. They're designed for cash flow gaps. When you don't have savings, a $1,200 repair becomes $1,600 over time. A $500 emergency becomes a year of payments. At $15,000, you pay cash. You avoid interest. You keep momentum. This is where wealth actually starts. This part matters more than people think. When you have no savings, you tolerate bad managers. You accept low raises. You fear unemployment. At $15,000, you can walk. Not forever, but long enough to negotiate. And negotiation is leverage. A Stanford study found that workers with at least 3 months of savings negotiate salaries 35% more often. Savings doesn't just protect you. It pays you. Now you might be thinking, if this is so powerful, why doesn't everyone do it? Because the system is optimized against you. Rising housing costs. Subscription creep. Lifestyle inflation. Normalized debt. And worst of all, people are taught to invest before stabilizing. Here's the uncomfortable truth. If you don't have $15,000 cash, the market owns you, not the other way around. Let's get practical. This isn't about extreme frugality. It's about structural changes. Step 1, build to $3,000 fast. Sell stuff. Cut temporarily. Create momentum. Step 2, kill high-interest debt. Anything over 8 to 10% is stealing from your future. Step 3, automate to $10,000. Consistency beats intensity. Step 4, slow, boring push to $15,000. This is where discipline replaces motivation. No hype. No hacks. Just systems. Here's what people never post about. You stop checking your account every day. You stop fearing Mondays. You stop dreading mail. Money stops being emotional. And when money stops being emotional, you win. $15,000 won't make you rich, but it will make you free enough to stop making fear-based decisions. And that's where wealth actually begins. If you take one thing from this video, let it be this. Stability comes before growth. Always. If this helped you, subscribe. More importantly, start building the buffer. Your future self is counting on it.